I know that this video is really dark, but that's because it's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep because my thoughts won't let me. So I decided that I might as well make a video. Hey guys! Actually, no. This is supposed to be a real video. So I'm not gonna do this fake smiling thing. I'm just not gonna do it. This is supposed to be a real video, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be. Real. Now, this video, the purpose of this video is for me to explain why it is that people commit suicide. The reason people commit suicide is quite simple, actually. This doesn't even need to be a minute-long video. Because honestly, I could tell you the reason right now. And that reason is because, like any other thing we do in life, before we do it, we sit down and think over our options. But the difference is, when someone commits suicide, there are no other options. That's the only thing that's there. That's the only thing that you can do. So, it's nothing that you have to think over, right? Because it's the only thing. It's the only option. So what else would you do? It's literally the only option. You understand? No, you don't understand. Let me explain. Remember that time when you were driving and this stupid driver just dash in front of you and you almost got into an accident because this man can't drive? Yes, now you remember because I just brought it up. But a couple seconds before hearing me ask you that question, you didn't remember. Alright, now on that day, you probably cursed the man because in that moment, you were so upset. You're just like, this man can't serious, boss. You were so mad. You probably shout out some bad words or something at the man. You probably like, what the? Oh, you probably, you know what I'm trying to say? You'd be like, this man can't serious. You understand? Because you, in that moment, you were so mad. Like that, your car is your baby, and this man just wants to make you get into an unnecessary accident because he can't drive. In that moment, you were so mad that you probably cursed the man. Couple days later, you didn't even remember that. But in that moment, you were so mad that you cursed the man. And that's exactly what it is. When it comes to suicide, it's not that, whatever you're going through now, it probably won't matter in a couple of months, in a couple of years. But in that moment, suicide is the only option because of how distorted your mindset is. Because in that moment you can't see a reason to live. In that moment you feel so guilty, you feel so tired, you feel like the world will be a better place without you. In that moment, and that moment is all that matters. In that moment, suicide is your only option. A lot of you would have known that I've tried to kill myself times before because someone that I trusted leaked this information to social media. Truth be told, if I had known then what I know now, I still would have tried to kill myself each and every single one of those times. Because in that moment, I saw no reason to live. None whatsoever. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm still trying to find that reason to live. I still haven't found it yet. But I'm trying. I have been self-harming since I was probably age 12. And the most messed up mentality about people self-harming is that, oh, she's cutting herself because she's trying to kill herself. You see, that's way wrong. Because people don't self-harm because they're trying to kill themselves. People self-harm because they're trying so hard to live. So hard to make it through a day. So hard to cope that they've resorted to cutting their own skin. Self-harm is not because I want to die. Self-harm is because I am trying so hard to live. Self-harm is not because I want to die. Self-harm is because I am trying so hard to live. 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 And people don't get that. I can remember the first time that my mom saw cuts on my wrist. And I can remember because my mind refuses to let me forget. I can remember the tone of her voice. I can remember the look in her eyes because those eyes scarred me. It sounds stupid, but I can assure you, I can remember exactly how it happened. I can remember the whole scene in my head. And you know what words you played in my head? The fact that she looked at me with so much coldness in her eyes, and she said, the only thing that I'm sorry about is that you didn't go deeper. I mean, you said the only thing you're sorry about is that I didn't go deeper. So I mean, obviously I went deeper the next time, right? Because if you tell me to kill myself, then I will try it. And if you treat me like I'm not good enough, then eventually I'm gonna stop believing that I'm not good enough. People don't get this. Your jokes are not funny. You make a joke, and at 2 a.m. I am in bed trying to just let the damn joke go and go to sleep, but my mind won't let me forget it. And you're comfortably asleep, but I can't sleep because I cannot escape my thoughts. I cannot escape my thoughts. One of my friends hit me up and she said, "Hey Wanda, I think it'd be a good idea if you not only say why suicide isn't an option, but you also gave your little story of why you tried to kill yourself either one of the times." I mean, this is understandable because I've told you what it's like to live with depression, but I never told you what it was like to be me. I've never told you what it's like to look in the mirror and not see one good thing about yourself, not one thing to love. I've never told you what it's like to go days upon days upon days upon days without sleeping. I've never told you what it's like to starve yourself because you don't feel like you're even worthy of food at times. I've never told you what it's like to be me. I think if you understood, then probably you would have an idea of why I tried to kill myself. But I am making this video in my spot. I'm literally leaned against my bedroom door. And this is my spot. Because when I've come home from a long day, shut my door, lean against it, slowly come down my door and let the tears flow, hug my knees, and just cry. Sometimes I have my razor with me, and you have no idea how needed that feeling is. You have no idea what it's like when you wake up in the morning and you struggle through this long obstacle of a day, and then you get home and you just need something. You just need something to cope. Because you're gonna wake up the next morning and it's gonna be the same thing again, only worse. Why? Because tests don't get easier. They just get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And you can't talk to anyone about it because they're gonna say, oh, it gets better, and you know, time heals all, and oh, soon from now that won't matter. I don't need to know about soon. You understand? And this is why it doesn't make sense for me to talk to anybody about any of my problems. It just doesn't make sense because, I mean, I'm going to talk to you and you're going to tell me about soon and 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 soon. I am not hurting later. I mean, I probably will be hurting later. But right now is when I'm hurting. I'm hurting now. Now is when I'm in pain. Now is when I don't know what to do. Now is when I can't see a reason to live. And now is when you're not telling me what to do. You're telling me about later. You're telling me it's going to get better later. But what about now? No is when it hurts. No is when I no is when I am in so much pain that suicide seems like the only option. No is when I'm struggling so hard to find a reason to live. It's no, it's not later. I know you're gonna try to tell me that time heals all, but the truth is, time has never healed my pain. I have learned to cope with it with time. I have learned to accept it. I have learned to be okay with it. I have learned to say that I'm okay with it. I have learned with time, I have learned to conceal my emotions. But with time, I have never healed. Time never took away any of my problems. Time only taught me to be okay with them, to say I'm okay with them. This doesn't apply for all situations, for every single person. But you want to know why? So I'm telling you why. It's because in that moment, they can't see a brighter side to life. In that moment, nobody would care if they were gone. In that moment, the world is too much. I'm not saying this applies to everyone. Again, I'm not saying that. But for most people, that's just the way it goes. I don't think people understand that everybody's not the same. Things that you may be able to cope with, I am not strong enough to deal with. And things that I put up with on a daily basis, if you were in my shoes, you would not be able to handle. We're not at the same level of strength, you understand? And the things that are probably have an effect on me, they would not even matter to you. They won't bother you. People don't understand this. Because something seems male to you, you wouldn't understand why it has such a big effect on me.